allow someone to talk about themselves to the whole group.
Oh, you wanted my email?
So, Edward. Why don't you share your story? What are you doing?
Okay, so how you guys doing? My name is Edward. It's my partner Alex. I'm doing an online bartering website for people to connect. It's basically a social network. So the social media aspect is why I'm here today, just to enhance it. Senator's helping me out with that.
Yeah, we're building the site for him and kind of helping him with the marketing. Does anyone else want to introduce themselves? Go ahead.
Sure. Hi, my name is Lydia Sugarman. The company is Ventive, and it's a comprehensive and unique platform of marketing, digital marketing, communications, and lead generation tools. So you can subscribe to a dozen different accounts like MailChimp, Huddle, FreshBooks, Twilio, Eventbrite, on and on, and juggle all of those databases, or you can subscribe to Ventive for a lot less and manage everything, including multiple Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn accounts, a sophisticated email marketing account, great CRM that's way easier and more fun than Salesforce.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. Anyone else want to go? Alright, I'll kind of go ahead, Paul.
Last 20 years I've been a mortgage broker. I'm looking to transition away from that because my ultimate goal is to be able to travel through my retirement years, but I'll never retire. Want to use the ability of technology to allow me to earn income as I travel.
Okay. Anyone else want to share their story? Alright, I'll kind of share my story. So, first of all, who am I? Why am I doing this? A little bit about myself. I began when I was 16 years old. I created a summer tennis program for my tennis camp. I was a competitive tennis player all my life. And I kind of had the entrepreneur spirit. And then when I got into community college, I went to Cal and I went to community college for a semester. I started a note-taking service. And I took notes visually instead of linearly. And then I gave out the notes for free during midterms and then sold them during the finals. Made my first profit, created my first website, got an opt-in page. And then I said, wow, this is cool. And I created my first little business. And then I said, okay, let's see how far I can take this. So I went to my tennis coach and I said, I can create you a website, I can get you ranked on the first page of Google, I can help you drive leads, get you clients. Clients started to come in and made a profit and said, hey, let's see how far I can take this. And then I went to different industries. I went to personal trainer, mortgage, real estate, and then I realized that some of the fundamentals of local businesses are missing. So some of the things that they're missing is they kind of miss the concept of the know you, like you, and trust you. They're always looking for that next little website, but they don't have a system that's built for them that will actually convert traffic, help them reach their goals, and then they wonder, well, why am I not doing this? I bought this great website and nothing's working. And then I realized, well, it's because they don't really have this system that comes in that constantly is sustainable, so that people constantly come in, they get products, they get their value, and then they know, like, and trust the business, so the sale happens completely naturally. They're more willing to buy from people. And then I realized, wow, this kind of fundamental principles need to be taught, because it's not just here's a fancy little social media thing here. The next thing will be social media turbo. And then there will be Web 4.0, Web 5.0. It's a fundamental principles. And then I realized that this needs to be taught, the system needs to be taught, people need to understand these fundamental principles, and that can be applied to any type of business. Whether it's marketing business, web design, social media, mortgage broker, those fundamental principles need to be taught, and that's kind of why I'm doing this right here. Because I'm sick and tired of the quick and easy method. This is not a quick and easy, this is a full system that's going to teach you the fundamentals, and then that you can apply, whether it's social media that you're going to use, whether it's going to be getting ranked on Google, whether it's going to be creating websites. There are certain fundamentals. If you follow them, you will have success. So that's kind of a little bit about why I'm doing this. So if anyone else would like to share their story? Anyone else?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, my name is Jared, and I actually began to think about not business, but personal development and understanding why certain people, my example back when I was 19 was Donald Trump. Why is Donald Trump so wealthy and most other people aren't as wealthy as him? And from that questioning, I was led to read Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich and understood really the power of our mind, the power of our thoughts. And from there, Jacob and I developed the first company, which was called Raffle Apparel. It stood for Relax and Have Fun, Limited Edition Apparel. And from then, we were always, using our creativity and really having fun developing these ideas and being entrepreneurial. And through the years, we've had a lot of different ventures. And most recently, what we're focused on is being able to help people have a professional and profitable presence with Facebook, since there's just so many people there and there's a lot of really interesting things that can be done with it. We're actually focusing in our creativity on different marketing, advertising, design elements, anything that can be done with that.
We need your comfort. We both need you. Yes.
All right. Anyone else want to share? Anyone else a little shy? Or if anyone doesn't want to share, go ahead.
Oh, I'll tell you what. We started a real estate firm. It's called Resolux, and basically we've got, we're soliciting high-end properties for the America's Cup. And it's been pretty good. We've gotten good response, but we need to branch out.
That's cool. Awesome.
I'm Barbara. My husband and I have a recording studio. Been recording for commercials for 20 years. We changed the format and have included video for the last two, where we're also, so we edit both video and audio. And we're trying to move into the next step of live streaming rather than just creating product to then be sold for television shows. Live streaming, so that bands can come in and actually keep in touch with their fan base, bring them in while they are recording, and then give them product to then take back and post on YouTube or whatever, and then create then their music video from what they've done in the studio. It's new and it's hard to break into. I think I get people to think that way, so they're trying to learn how to do that.
Anyone else? Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Joey Garrity. I have a company called JG Entertainment and Branding. My background is 13 years in the Hollywood industry. At the last, I did this first started for Disney and multimedia, branded original content web series for online. Taking that, I developed this company where I take the Hollywood creative business models and creative models that I learned down there, and then bringing them to others, whether it's individuals who want to break into the scene or companies themselves outside of Hollywood, and teach people the networking secrets to Hollywood.
All right. Anyone else wants to share? Okay. So today we're going to have the secrets of social media are going to be revealed. So basically what I've done is I've partnered up with the Social ROI, my company for Free Media. We've partnered up with the Social ROI guys, this is Jared and Jacob, and they're going to reveal the secrets of social media. Some of the things that are going to be covered is engagement, not contact. Why is that important? How to set up seamless transition to convert people from the social sphere into the buying phase. They're going to talk about why most businesses actually fail on social media because they're trying to sell you something, well, as opposed to engaging, not contacting. And without further ado, Jared and Jacob, take it away. Yeah, absolutely.
Jake and I started business about 6 years ago, and it was a clothing company called Raffle Apparel, and I don't know what it was, actually I probably do, but we just absolutely love being creative. It actually took us a few years before I personally realized that we were able to use our creativity in business and for marketing the way most musicians play an instrument, the way painters do their art. We actually consider this to be our art form. It's what we love, and we're happy to be sharing this with you, so thank you all for being here in this co-creation. So what we're going to be talking about is, as Sandra mentioned, some of the fundamentals that work in Facebook, social media, and business in general. Because what we know is when it comes to Facebook, it moves really fast, and there's updates happening virtually every day. I mean, even today, I think I saw something, a new feature or a new design on what Facebook was doing. So instead of us just trying to tell you all the new latest updates that you need to keep track of, we're going to make sure that we're talking about the fundamentals that you can use no matter what site you're on, no matter what you're using. It'll work pretty universally.
One thing I wanted to point out, getting started here, we're just getting into all this. Keep in mind how you're feeling, like when we're giving you all this information. This is exciting, or you're ready to go home and hop on Facebook and do it all. It's a little bit scary. Whatever it is, just keep in mind as to how you feel, with all this information.
Absolutely.
We're going to bring it up again later.
Absolutely. And so what we're going to be talking about, which is really key in this, is, as Sandra mentioned before, people getting to know, like, and trust you, and doing this through social media. And what we're going to be talking about is Facebook specifically, and this will go into other networks, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, and other networks like that. But our focus is going to be specifically on Facebook. And so what we want to cover before we get into the different elements of how to have a consistent brand on Facebook and how to turn your fans into buyers, into repeat buyers and lifetime customers and clients, I want to share a couple tips with you on how to actually use a Facebook fan page. I'm going to just ask, how many people have a fan page already? Okay. Does anyone not have a fan page that is looking? Okay. Perfect. So here's, and as we go through this, you feel free to take notes if you want to jot down some notes. We've structured this so that it's going to be pretty basic, and that you're able to really absorb the information without having to write down, paragraphs around slides. We want to keep it simple and very understandable. So feel free to write any notes down. Otherwise, you can simply absorb it and be present. So whichever you prefer. What we do want to mention is,
It's funny that you point out writing that down to ask questions, because that was one of the first things that we're talking about, and Sandra even pointed out, is instead of pushing like your content, your specials, here's this, here's that, look what I'm having, this is what I'm doing, ask your people a question. Hey, what's going on with this or that? Related to things that are happening in the news or the industry that you're related in right now. If there's a sports game, we have a pizza place that we do, we build out their page. There was a 49er game. They said, hey, 49er game is today. You guys come in and for the game special get like $2 off your pizza, something like that. So just taking an active event, something that's happening, and relating it to your industry, and then asking them and engaging.
right, and typically with that, I mean, even though they made an offer and they have a special, doing it in a way that is creative and gets people to, it's not just another billboard, it's actually doing something either with the current event or asking people. Another thing that they did, and they're actually really innovative company with their social media, they'll say, for every person that buys pizza today, we're going to donate 50% of our profits to this nonprofit organization, or this cause that we believe in. And part of what they're doing is when they get 5,000 likes on their fan page, they're going to be donating 500 pizzas to the San Francisco Homeless Shelter and other homeless shelters around here. So there's a really, really exciting company that we're able to collaborate with. Once we heard they were doing that, it was really beautiful to see. Now, another thing with regards to engaging and sharing, asking questions and sharing things on Facebook is a key point to remember and to consider is even when you ask a question and people respond, use that as an opportunity to start a conversation. So continue the comments as it goes. So when you make a post, people can post a comment right below. So what we encourage you to do is give them feedback on their comments and really get a conversation going within that. There's a lot of reasons why that's important, but the main reason to keep in mind is when that happens, you will be more likely to be seen by more people, by more of your fans and more of your friends on Facebook. So definitely something to keep in mind.
So this is just a quick note here. So when someone sees you on Facebook and other people are writing about you, this is a concept of what's called social proof. When other people see you, and basically what that means is that people see that someone else is typing, commenting, they're being active in the conversation, you automatically get associated as being an expert because other people are commenting and spreading your word for you. So that's just the jump in social proof.
Absolutely, absolutely. Cool. So what we're going to be talking about now is element one. I'll let Jacob share a little bit about why this is important.
First thing we're going to be going over is skyscraper banners. You can see that a lot of people usually will just have a tiny little picture. It won't be this, and the size is 533 pixels by 180. If you guys want to jot that down real quick, and that will get you exactly this to fit in here. We like to do our banners, call to action at the top. Yes, the like button is right here, and theoretically they're in your page, they're looking around, they should click it, but you really have to assume that they are just lost in their own world. So make sure to point it out, hey, like us. Another thing that we like is putting a picture of you instead of just like your logo for our company, because people on Facebook like to see a real person, we found, instead of just a logo of something. And then again at the bottom, we like to either have a call to action, or you can have maybe your number for a contact. Basically just getting the most out of the banner that you can, giving the most value that you can to it.
Right, absolutely. I mean, this space is there. I mean, Facebook is giving you this capacity, so it's going to be really important for you to leverage this space to brand yourself and give yourself a professional presence.
Could you put your, like an info ad and link it? Can you do that?
You can't click, the picture itself isn't clickable. What we can do is if people click on this, they'll have a new window show up that just shows the picture, and there's a description right below that where you could put a link on it. So that's the only
I'm a
solution.
little confused, I'm sorry. If you click on the picture,
Yeah, it's just like an image.
yeah,
So it'll just be an image, not a link.
right,
And then under the picture,
you can put a link.
there is a description where you can put a link.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure it's
Yeah. And also, I was just going to say, for anyone that has questions, if you could just jot them down, we're going to be taking questions at the end.
Okay.
So,
Sorry.
beautiful. Oh, that's perfect. Thank you. Cool. So we mentioned a couple of the key elements. Having a like us call to action is important. Having your picture on there, which gives you a personal brand for a personal feel. And then either a tagline or call to action, book or call for a free consultation, or check out our videos, something like that to really encourage people on how to take the next step once they get to your page.
The next prime space real estate that you get is your top 5 pictures, and a lot of people won't have these optimized. What we do with our top 5, we like to do is they lead to different pages that we have. So we have a free video page, say what page, about you page, and why, Facebook. So when they click on this, basically we have them so that they enlarge. Usually this image right here is 720 by 720, and what you're going to want to do is get it like that, so when they click, it's big, instead of usually when you click on people's picture, it'll be like really small with a lot of black in the background. This gets it so you just optimize the whole thing, makes it really clean and clear. Again, we have a call to action. Click the link below, get your free video, and this link right here, they can click, take them straight to the page to get their free video. Again, when you're making it really big like this, you just want to make sure that you center the whatever you want the picture to show up. So for the free video, we had to make sure it was centered right in there so that when it shows up on your top 5 picks, right, back here, it actually says free video instead of having like the E and the O and it's like some white space and stuff.
Right. So that's just something that a graphics person would be able to do.
But just a little note that.
So does anyone know why a free video is so important in terms of the know you, like you, trust you concept? Why would you want to send them to a free video page? Go ahead, Paul.
Video gives you a face to a name, video gives you a voice, and video gives you a warm fuzzy that typing and just hearing somebody over a teleseminar or whatever just doesn't do.
Why would they invest in my foundation?
So why would they invest?
I would invest my time watching this video.
Yeah.
Well, theoretically, because it would be, you want to see what this video has in store, it would serve you in some way.
There would be a benefit associated with
Right.
watching this video.
Which so we have typed in smaller print.
Yeah, say, would you like to see more clients and customers for your business from Facebook? So you're reading this if you want more clients and customers from Facebook.
Right.
Oh, you said questions with that.
Yeah. Cool. And then, so yeah, so just so everyone's clear, this is the wall. This is your wall on your fan page, and these are the latest 5 pictures that Facebook will put there automatically. This is just an opportunity for you to create additional branding and have a consistent brand and feel between your banner and the top 5. Another example is Pringles. This is what they did. They have their skyscraper banner, which is pretty much the size of their product as well. And then they have different images of people having fun with Pringles chips as their top 5. So just another example of how you can leverage this. The next thing we're going to be talking about is an email opt-in, and we're going to be sharing a little bit about why this is so important and how you'll be able to leverage this aspect, this one key element, to be able to turn your fans on Facebook into customers, into lifelong clients and customers. And the reason that this is so important, and this is basically a landing page that you can set up on Facebook, and as soon as people go to your fan page, and even before they like you, they can see a page very similar to this, where you can have a special report that you can give away to build value in exchange for their name and email. And the reason that having an opt-in list an email opt-in list is important is because Facebook is like a social environment. It's everyone getting together and seeing what their friends are doing, seeing what other people are doing. It's not the most ideal place to exchange money because a lot of people are going there just to see what other people are doing. They're going to look at pictures. So when you can put an email opt-in form on your fan page, what you're doing is you're getting people in this social experience to give you permission to send them a message later, which basically means it's a more intimate one-on-one relationship.
Exactly. You're creating the one-on-one direct channel of communication with them as opposed to just talking to everybody, all of your friends.
Right.
It's a lot more personal.
Right.
This has to do with converting people from the social sphere into a place where they can actually promote and offer them something later on. Think of it kind of as a party principle. I like to refer to it as a party principle. Everybody comes to the party, everybody's having a good time drinking, and then someone comes in and tries to sell you something. You don't like that guy, right? But the idea is to convert them, give them a business card, and move them to the office. Think of the landing page as your office. You're now getting their name and email, and then you can be able to move them swiftly so that it's easy, seamless transition, and then you can promote them and send them offers as well.
Right, and then so once people sign up on your list like this, for example, they can go back to doing their Facebook thing, or they can see more of what you're doing on Facebook, and now what you can do is send them an email so that when they're at their computer later, they can see, oh yeah, that's right, and they'll be able to look into it and give you more direct and specific attention, which is a really, really good point. And there's a lot of things that you can do for email opt-in boxes.
You can do a video and have an email below, whatever.
Absolutely, and this is another key element that this is something that we haven't seen in a lot of places, but this is something that Facebook is allowing people to do, which is basically have a website within Facebook. And so the reason that there's a lot of reasons why this is pretty interesting, but one is the point of having a website is to share your information and to get people to learn more about you so they can ultimately do business with you. With a website within Facebook, or another key point of having a website is getting people to it. And Sandra knows this pretty well with being able to optimize search engines so you can show up higher in those results. Well, one of the key elements with Facebook is the fact that their PR or authority rank in the search engine's eyes is incredibly high. They have one of the most authoritative websites on the entire internet. So what that means is search engines like Google will more likely show these high authority sites like Facebook. So if your website is within Facebook on your Facebook fan page, then you have
credibility basically of Facebook.
Right, you have high authority in the eyes of the search engine. So that's one interesting element. Another thing that you'll be able to do is, with a website, you have hosting fees. You buy domains, you renew domains. With Facebook, there's no hosting fees.
Another point that I mentioned earlier is that anybody know how many people there are on Facebook right now? Yeah, over 750 million. Those people are spending close to an hour a day on Facebook. So, you know, getting the traffic to your website can be a problem, but you don't have to get traffic to Facebook. Facebook has everybody going in there every day, logging in, spending tons of time looking around. So if you just provide all the information about your business so that they can get to know you and like you and trust you right here inside of Facebook where they're already at, people are already there. You don't have to get them there. They're there every day. They're spending time. So just put all of it there and they can get all the information about it.
Along those lines, one of the main key components is to build a community. So make sure you're providing value, you're giving out valuable videos, opt-ins that provide value to a specific targeted audience in your community niche. And these are something that you don't want 100,000 fans if you're not engaging in them, right? You want kind of a targeted list of, let's say, 1,000 fans, but you're really engaging, you're really asking them questions, you're seeing what they want, you're providing what they want, you're asking them, you're engaging, and after that, you can then easily build a community around that. And people will have no problem watching your videos, knowing who you are, liking you, trusting you, and later on buying from you.
It's all about the quality of the people in the post that wants to, because I mean, you can have 100,000 likes and you put up a post and you get one comment on it. Or so, yeah, I mean, what's the point of that? You might as well have 1,000 people and get 20 comments because everybody's really engaged with what you're doing.
Right, absolutely. I know one of the guys that we learned a lot of internet marketing from, he has, an email list of, I think it's like 5,000 or 8,000. He was making more money with that list than people that have, 250,000 people on their list. And the reason was because it was his relationship that he had. He was so authentic with them, and he was so transparent with everything that he does. And one of the cool things that he does with Facebook specifically is, a lot of people will say, stay away from controversial subjects like, don't talk about religion or some of these, taboo subjects. He'll go right to that because when he does that and just asks something, what do you think about this politician or this person on television, and he'll get 80 or 90 comments. He's building a huge community with interactivity, a lot of social proof, and he's really engaging his community. So that's it's just something to consider when it is, when you're creating content for your people.
I mean, think about the question that Facebook asks. What's on your mind? They ask a simple question whenever you come on there. What's on your mind? And everybody responds to it. Think of that way for your business. What's on your client's mind? What's on your customer's mind? If you ask that question, they will tell you. And then now you can engage them.
One other thing is that a lot of people, businesses will do pay-per-click, and I was helping out a company down in Fremont, and they were paying up to like $5 a click. Just per click, not a conversion. They didn't meet all the goals, just $5 a click. So instead of doing pay-per-click with that, Facebook ads inside of Facebook, and if you have an ad in Facebook and you take them to your Facebook fan page, as opposed to taking them outside of Facebook to your website from that ad, is a lot cheaper, like about 5 times cheaper. Or more. It just depends on how everything's set up, but a lot more efficient.
Absolutely.
Along those lines as well, pay-per-click is kind of the old model, is run an ad to a page, get people to come in. But now on Facebook, you can actually target the people that you're trying to attract. So you can do by interest, by age group. So once you know your kind of demographic, what age group, what are their interests, you know exactly what your product offers. Now you can target it to a specific audience, and then the number and the dollars that you're going to spend the number of traffic you're going to get increased, the dollars are going to decrease.
Definitely. Yeah, and then the next point we're just going to talk very briefly about before I get into it is how many people have heard of a webinar? You guys know what a webinar is? You have been on a webinar? Okay, so for anyone that doesn't, basically it's like a video presentation. So people could be on a conference call and they'll have video and they'll have slides along to go with it to make it a video presentation. And this channel for distributing information and content is incredibly powerful in building value, making you the authority person, and being able to get people to know, like, and trust you because they're spending on average, 45 minutes to an hour and a half with you on this virtual presentation. So it really gives you a great opportunity to share a lot of information and to tell people, how you can actually help them and providing great value with that. And go ahead.
So there's some pretty cool things that go along with Facebook webinar. Is that as soon as people log on to watch, they hit approve.
Oh yeah, what I was going to say is, so anyway, webinars are now able to be put in within Facebook. Yeah. So this is a huge new piece of technology, and the only reason I'm bringing it up is because we saw it a couple months. I think the technology is only like 3 months old, but we saw it and we are getting really excited about this. We're putting some energy into a couple different projects that we'll be using through this. But I just wanted to let you guys know this is something that you might want to just look at and consider if it might work for you. And the best way to get a feel for what this is to just actually see one. So if you guys want to check out a website, it's www.the FB, as in Facebook, FB, webinars.com. thefbwebinars.com. You actually get to see one of these in real life, and you can potentially see how this could work for your business as well.
Another thing is, now that people you've got your community, you've engaged them, they know you, like you, and trust you, you've moved them to the webinar, you don't have to take them off watching you. So they're engaged, now you just slide them over to a Facebook webinar, and the transition is they're watching you, and they don't have to move away from Facebook. That's kind of the advantage and the benefit to why you would want to do a Facebook webinar.
It's almost like people already feel comfortable being inside of Facebook, so why take them outside of Facebook to watch the webinar? Just allow them to watch it right there from your page.
Definitely. Cool. So, now with all of this being said, is this stuff exciting? Is this something that you are excited about going home with and getting started on and putting effort into?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're not
Questions?
Yeah. So the point in that, if does it seem overwhelming to anyone or anything about this? Does it excite you?
I'm always completely overwhelmed.
Okay.
But it's exciting.
Okay. And the reason we mention that is what we believe, what we found in our and working, the way that we have is, if you're not doing something that you enjoy, if you feel like you're struggling and you feel like you have to do something to make this thing work and you're just having a horrible time with it, I've personally found like it'll take me 2 hours to do something that it should take me 5 minutes if I just was clear and wasn't frustrated. So the reason that we bring this up is because if you don't enjoy the idea of doing this, then you personally should not be doing it. Either collaborate with someone that does know what they're doing and loves doing it, or find some way to cooperate or work together with people that are doing what they love so that you can do more of what you love and ultimately work together and make a better positive difference for what you're doing.
There's plenty of seats on the bus, and you can't be the bus driver and fill all the seats in your business. So definitely trusting other people and delegating the work, and everybody together doing what they love can help the bus move a lot faster.
Right. As you mentioned, Sam mentioned, we're partnering on a couple things. So if you guys have any questions, we can take questions. And if you want to talk to us after, we can talk further about anything that maybe on your mind.
Does anyone have any questions? Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So what in regards to the rights? When we're laying our website on there, our products, we know Facebook's all crazy about the rights situation. Can you guys talk a little bit about that? Because that's come up a lot. That's coming up a lot when I'm talking to clients right now.
Their rights?
Yeah. Like in other words, we lay down, like for instance, the website, yes, the website, laying our products into Facebook, because according to the terms, that they can ownership, there's an ownership situation going on. And this is a very, very Disney Hollywood question. People are very afraid about the rights being taken from them.
Right.
So in other words, Facebook, just to kind of clarify for everyone, Facebook is saying that now the rights belong to us because you created this within our system?
I'm asking you guys if you guys have dived into that, or if you guys have had other people ask you that. So I have had clients ask me.
No, I haven't had much exposure to that, but I'll definitely be able to look into it and see what I find.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Should it be in small print somewhere?
Yeah, but
Yes,
it's like
you
pages and
need
pages and
It's
pages.
definitely in their small print, and they're very specific about ownership. You can't, I think actually wasn't aware that you could embed a website or embed a webinar in Facebook page. So,
That's exciting.
Yes,
Very exciting.
I've got questions of security, and I mean, for taking payments and PayPal's on there, and you can pay directly through there. Because people recently had a doctor, and they were just worried about booking appointments, type of thing, and the information that people are giving, or a new client coming in, a new patient coming in. So that was something else as well.
yeah, people go in and manage your settings. They can use your photographs for different purpose, your photographs.
That would be another key element. If you're signed into Facebook, keep track of your settings, your account settings, your privacy settings. That's an ultimate business or personal.
Do you do a webinar on that?
We haven't done it yet, no,
Yeah, maybe we'll do a webinar on that.
Yes,
It will be very
you can run a live webinar from.
not live, no.
Okay, okay, so you're basically, it's kind of like a slideshare thing, where you're embedding your PowerPoint.
Yeah, a video presentation, sure, yeah.
But it's very interactive, the presentation on Facebook. As soon as you click allow and people are going to watch it, it'll automatically post a comment on your page, whatever comment you like, whatever you would want when they're watching it. So then it would go whoever watches your webinar and gets posted on their page. And hey, I'm watching this webinar about ABC.
Well, that's not interactive necessarily, or not my definition of interactive. But it's letting people.
Yeah, it's viral. There's
Yeah,
also a
it's
chat
viral.
box right
It's
here.
viral.
So,
Yeah.
It's not interactive.
well, it can be. I mean, you have a chat box, and whoever's putting on the presentation can be there to be there with them. It could be. It's just not a live presentation.
Yeah.
Got it.
Did you have a question?
I just want to ask you one question. Is there an app to embed your webinar, your website, your Facebook app? Is there an app for that?
That's part of what we create. So I mean, that's one of our specialties of what we do. But I mean, I'm sure there's other design platforms out there that would allow something similar. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you guys have any websites you recommend for like exposure to your website just to join, or do you have any specific websites that can be jot down just to sign up on?
To how to get more exposure to like your website.
Dig, Propeller, Mashable, Twitter.
Stumble upon.
Stumble upon.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh.
Google Plus.
Google Plus.
I'll talk to you.
Yeah, there you go. Got the download.
Trying to give you all
I want everything. I want to go on every
All
website.
right.
Why not?
Okay, go ahead.
First, can Facebook be used to target localities?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do mortgages in
Right.
Midwest,
Right.
just here. But I don't have a problem being an expert that talks about stuff that's relevant to people in the Midwest. So
How do you
that
get your location on Facebook?
Geo-targeting. I know how to do it in Google.
yeah, I know how to do
You
that.
just
So,
do geo-targeting.
With ads, yeah, you can even do like real-time
Well, yeah,
keyword research
ads.
to see what people are talking about with a specific keyword and then targeting for one area. So like only people that say marketing in 25 miles around San Francisco show up in the screen. So you can do like real-time research with what people are talking about.
Okay.
So that's
you
not
can
another way
engage.
to use local, or geocentric information.
Does that make sense?
No, not
All right, let's try that.
Let's say you're a marketing company, you want a new client, you go in here and you type in the keyword marketing, and you only want to see people that have used this keyword marketing in the 25-mile area around your city that you get your client in San Francisco. So you'll only see the people that are using marketing 25 miles around your area. And they'll all show up, and then it's live, so you can then go click and talk to them, engage with them. Maybe they have a marketing question, you can then answer that question.
It's a
Right.
general search function of Facebook.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Paul.
the webinar,
Yeah.
since it is a recorded medium that
Yeah.
you're then putting on, and maybe you can host the recorded medium, can you do full video
We're looking at you moving?
Well, I'm
One,
putting,
yes.
yeah, the answer is yes. I'm putting together conference calls.
Okay.
I can get up to 19 people to be fully interactive video on a conference call. I then take that information or take that recorded, and then it is planned to become part of my webpage. So if you have a question, it's going to be able to be routed directly to our equivalent response in that area. Experts in different parts of the real estate business, for instance. So I was just wondering if we could also, besides YouTube, throw it in and put it as part of our Facebook as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And something to consider, since you bring it up with the Facebook webinar, is there's a difference between getting people to watch this versus getting someone to watch a YouTube video, for example. So if it's just an instructional how-to video, it might make more sense to just put it on YouTube so there isn't this barrier to entry. Because when you go to, before you watch a webinar, it says, click allow to get access to this presentation. So there's just another step for people. So it just depends on how you're using it.
Right.
But if it's a selling platform or a big content-based presentation, I would consider that.
That was good.
Another question for photos and on the website. I remember on MySpace how you can use like embedded codes to put them on your profile, like about me and everything. Can you do the same thing on Facebook? Like so that when you go on the website, let's say the fan page, you just see large photos scrolling down instead of text. Because I've seen websites on Facebook with fan pages for like just different companies where instead of having text, they just have big posters that you can just scroll down and look at. So is there a way?
Welcome page, like right when you come there, like that's what you would just see is
just on the info page, like the wall basically. So all their wall is, it's just like large photos. It was weird.
like on the background underneath, or
Just the whole page.
So from what I know, I don't know the way that you can alter what your wall looks like, but I mean, there's an option where you can have like a custom like background wallpaper on your wall or your whole Facebook page.
It's not an idea.
Well, there's I don't know if you remember.
page rate or something, or fan.
It was like page
I
range.
think it was page rate. That will give, that will do the actual, just the background.
Custom background. There's a paid version, so they don't have
Yeah,
ads
so
all over.
otherwise they have ads all
Do you know if
over.
there's like a specific website that can give you information on different like tools you can use to maybe enhance your website? You know, there's a specific website that just gives you.
Like all the plugins, service spaces.
No,
Organizers.
So you're basically looking to do that with your website? Okay.
Just the Facebook page.
Your Facebook page?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what I do know that you can do with Facebook is on like a custom page, so not the wall, for example, but let's say it's a different, tab or a different page within there. You can put virtually anything that you would want in there, anything that has to do with HTML code or basically anything. You can basically now put within a Facebook page.
Can you go with the info as well? You know that?
With your info?
Yeah, like have a welcome page with a video and, all your little bio. Yeah, exactly. That's like one of the first examples.
Those are opt-in, right?
Yeah, well, you can have that. It's the same thing. That's what I meant when you come in as the welcome page. If you want to have that banner, say some band's having a concert, whatever, and when they come into the welcome page, you could just have that whole poster be there, and that's what they would see as your welcome page.
So my question is, how do I do that?
By basically, there's different platforms that you use to build out exactly the same way that we're building out the sites, and then you just plug it in. It's an app. Comes up.
Yeah,
Okay.
just talk
So we can come to you for that.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's take a couple of more questions and then we'll put out a quick story and then we'll go into the game. Anyone have last dying questions? Something that they're like.
Moving to Google Plus.
What's that? You're moving to Google Plus?
Yeah.
We have a trader.
Yeah, no, I mean, I haven't put much energy into Google Plus at all. Not yet.
Maybe you should move. They should move
Yeah.
He's
in the club.
He's in the club. He's in the cool club.
Yeah, no, I haven't put much energy into it.
I don't think it's a big deal to get in. It's
As of today, it isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until everybody, Bud Light and all these big companies, Fortune 100, start saying, put in Google.
So,
Yeah, Google Plus was at the bottom of all their commercials, we're probably not going to be doing.
That's gonna come. That's coming soon.
Well, they just launched it. They launched it on press right too, so it's going to come really fast.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they have probably the list bigger than this room. Okay, any more questions whatsoever for everyone? What's that phrase?
On your base.
There. No? No one? All right. Good job, guys. All right, so now I have a kind of a survey just to fill out. I'm going to take about 5 to 10 minutes to fill this out. Just fill that one out. We'll share a little bit. See you guys. Very simple, 3 questions. Yeah, absolutely. 6 questions. Name, last name.
Okay, one more, please. Everything that works?
All right, awesome.
You good?
And we're done. Oh, you got a got this name. You got Two more pens. Oh, sorry, Sam. That's my fault. I didn't get from you. There you go. And everyone good? Everyone has a pen? Everyone has a paper? All right.